Hey, what's up everybody? Ben here from blogwithben.com, and in this video I'm going to walk you through WP Engine's Go Live checklist. WP Engine has created this fantastic pre-launch checklist that lays out the required and optimal tasks for a successful site launch. And this video will walk you through those tasks step by step so that at the end of this video, you can launch your website or blog with confidence, knowing that you've not only built it on a strong foundation with WP Engine, but you've taken the necessary steps to ensure a successful launch. Now, real quick, before we get started, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am so glad you found me. Here you'll find professional step-by-step video tutorials and reviews where I literally take you from start to finish with 0 steps skipped and show you how to build, grow, and monetize a self-hosted WordPress blog or website. And if you find this video helpful, I would love it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Doing so helps me keep this channel going and growing, and it also allows you to stay up to date with all the videos that come out in the future. So as always, thank you for your support. I also encourage you to sign up for my brand new free ebook titled The Ultimate WP Engine Blog Roadmap. And this free guide is filled with a ton of tips, resources, step-by-step instructions, videos, and so much more to help you get the most out of this tutorial while also taking the guesswork out of how to set up your site with WP Engine. So to get your free copy of this guide, just visit blogwithben.com/roadmap, fill out the form, and you'll have instant access to this free guide. And I'll put a link to this page in the video description below titled Free Ebook. Okay, so this tutorial is going to walk you through WP Engine's Go Live checklist. And if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you've already purchased your WP Engine hosting plan. But if you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it if you would use my affiliate link. It'll give you 4 months of free WP Engine hosting on all annual plans and 20% off all monthly plans. Just visit blogwithben.com/WP Engine and you'll be able to save some money on your web hosting. All right, with that being said, let's go through WP Engine's Go Live checklist. Okay, so the way I'm going to go about this is I'm assuming you've already built your site and you're ready to take it live with a brand new domain. However, if you haven't built your site yet and you're just getting started with WP Engine, you can by all means still go through these steps in the video, but just know that your site will be live and people will be able to access it online. So with that being said, in order to access the Go Live checklist, you'll want to visit your environment dashboard. And the way you'll do that is through what I like to call your WP Engine user portal dashboard, which is what we're looking at right now. Simply click on the environment name within the site you want to launch, located here, and this will bring you to your environment dashboard. So the main purpose of this video is to take your site live. And the process of going live refers to the process of building out your website or blog and making it publicly accessible. Now, WP Engine has made it so that you can easily track these steps with the Go Live checklist. This is a helpful guide that ensures you're completing all of the optimal tasks for a site launch. And to access the Go Live checklist, you could either click the See the Checklist button in the upper right corner of your dashboard, or go to the Live Checklist menu item in the dashboard sidebar. Both of those will take you to the Go Live checklist. And as you can see, this Go Live Connect and Secure checklist is compiled of 5 tasks. And we'll go through each of these tasks in greater detail throughout the video, but you can always come back here and track your progress. Also, when a task has been completed, it'll be marked with a green check mark. Now, there are additional checklists below that you could go through if you'd like, but for this video, we're just going to focus on the Go Live checklist. That's the most important one. Alright, so the first step in the checklist is to add your domain and set it as the primary domain. This means that your site will load using your own custom domain instead of the temporary domain. Now, WP Engine recommends that you build your site before going live. And I agree with that 100%, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go live prior to building my site. This is just a demo site, so it doesn't really matter when it's live, but either way, after you go through these steps in the checklist, your site will essentially be open for business and people will be able to visit it online. If you don't want to go live just yet, feel free to log into WordPress now and begin building your site. Then when you're ready to take your site live, come back and follow these steps that we're about to go through. But like I said, we're going to go through these steps now and add your domain. So with that being said, let's go through the first step in the checklist and add your primary domain. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to go through the process of adding your primary domain to your site. By default, WP Engine starts you off with the temporary subdomain, and you can view that temporary subdomain by going back to your site management section of your user portal dashboard by clicking on Sites within the sidebar menu on the left-hand side of the screen. And then from here, you could see that your site is currently using the WP Engine subdomain. Now, you obviously don't want that to be your primary domain, so let me show you how to add and connect a toplevel.com domain to your WP Engine site. So the first step in the process is to purchase a domain. And for this tutorial, we'll be using Namecheap. They're one of the most affordable domain registrars out there and offer some great deals for new customers. So visit blogwithben.com/Namecheap, and I'll put the link below in the important links doc. And I think this is the first time we've discussed the important links doc, so let me go over it really quick. So it's basically a Google Doc that lists all of the important links we'll use throughout the video. And all you'll do to access it is click the link in the video description below titled Important Links, and that'll take you to the Google Doc. Then click the Namecheap link, and that will give you access to Namecheap's new customer deal so that you could save some money on your domain, which is only about $7 for the year. Okay, so once you visit my Namecheap affiliate link, you'll be taken to their landing page where first you'll want to click this Newcom698 promo code button. This will automatically copy it so that you can apply it during the checkout process. Next, it's time to search for your .com domain. So in the search field, type out your desired domain name. And I recommend typing out the entire domain like this. Then click the search button. And if your domain is available, you'll see it listed above with a check mark next to it. Now, if it isn't available, I recommend you keep searching for an alternative domain. You may need to get creative, but I'm confident you'll find one that fits your needs. Okay, after you've settled on a domain and it's available, click the Add to Cart button. Then click the Checkout button towards the bottom of the screen. Then I recommend keeping the domain registration 1-year renewal and domain privacy protection turned on. This ensures that your domain stays up and running without any interruptions and that your privacy is protected. Anytime you purchase a domain, legally your contact info is added to the Whois directory, which means anyone could potentially access that info. But the domain privacy protection blocks that and keeps your information private. So I recommend keeping that on. Plus, it's free forever, which is really cool. Other domain registrars typically charge you for that domain privacy. Then below that are some additional add-ons that you can check out if you want. We don't really need them in this video because Cloudflare will be handling a lot of the DNS and SSL tasks for our domain. However, if you need an email address for your domain, I do recommend checking out Namecheap's professional email. We're not going to go over the steps to set up your email in this video, but I will have a video tutorial on that in the near future. Either way, if you're planning on having a professional email for your domain, this is the way to go. Alright, next, apply the promo code Newcom698 in the promo code field and click the Apply button. And there we go. You should get a notification that the coupon code was successfully added. Then click the Confirm Order button, and then you'll be taken through the account setup and billing process. Again, this is pretty straightforward. For the account setup, you'll enter your contact info, but as you do that, one thing to pay attention to is the job title section. If you're setting this domain up for yourself, be sure to uncheck that box next to where it says you're registering on behalf of a company. Then go ahead and finish filling out your contact info. I'm going to blur this out for security purposes really quick, and then click the Continue button when you're done filling it out. Next is the Whois contact info, and we briefly discussed this earlier, but legally when you purchase a domain, you need to submit your contact info to this database, and by default, they'll use the address that you used in your account setup, so review this info to ensure it's correct. Then below, make sure you have the domain privacy box checked. This keeps all of this info private within the database. And then I also recommend saving this configuration so that if you purchase other domains in the future, you won't have to fill this out again. All right, we're all set here, so go ahead and click the Continue button. And that'll take you to the payment method. Again, pretty straightforward. Just enter your payment info. You can pay by credit card or PayPal. You can also find the receipt and auto renew details towards the bottom of the screen, so double check and make sure those are correct. Now for this example, I'm purchasing a demo domain, so I'm not going to be auto renewing it. However, if you are purchasing your real domain for your real site, which I assume you are, I recommend checking both of these boxes so that there isn't any disruption in your service. And once you're done filling everything out, click the continue button. Then review your order and payment details. Again, we're getting a toplevel.com domain with privacy protection for only $7.16. That's actually a really good deal. Then to process your order, click the Pay Now button. And then it may take about 30 seconds for your order to fully process, so just sit tight really quick and don't navigate away from this page. If you do leave the page, it'll cancel your order, just FYI. Now, if for any reason nothing is happening on this page, you can click this link to refresh the page manually. But once it's done processing, it'll take you to the thank you page, which gives you your purchase summary and details. And let's sit tight just for a few more quick seconds while it's processing. And there we go. Now, before we move on, if this is your first time purchasing a domain from Namecheap and registering with the Whois database, you'll need to verify your contact info and consent to Namecheap's registration agreement, which will be emailed to you. This is extremely important because if you don't do this, your domain will be suspended and your site will be taken down. So check your inbox for an email titled Immediate Verification Required for your domains. It'll come from Namecheap support. Then simply click the link within that email to verify your email address and agree to the registration agreement. And you should be taken to the success page once you do, letting you know that your email address has been successfully verified. You can now move forward with the domain and add it to WP Engine. Okay, so before we purchased our domain name, we left off at our WP Engine user portal dashboard. But in order to update the domain within WP Engine, you'll need to access your WP Engine environment dashboard. So click your environment name listed here, and this will bring you to the environment dashboard. Then from here, in order to access your domain management menu, within the sidebar menu, click on where it says Domains. And this will bring you to the domain management section of your WP Engine account. This is where you can manage and configure your domains associated with your site. By default, you'll see 2 subdomains listed here, and without getting into the weeds, these are just temporary and we'll replace them with the primary domain that we just purchased from Namecheap. So the first thing we're going to do is add the new domain that we just purchased to our WP Engine account. So go ahead and click the Add Domain button. Then we obviously just purchased our domain, so leave that option selected and enter your domain in the field provided like so. Then click the Next button. And just like that, your domain has been added to your WP Engine account. Next, we'll need to manually update your domain's DNS. And don't worry, I'm going to walk you through that process step by step as well. So go ahead and click the Next button to move on. Then the same thing goes for the www version of your domain. We'll handle the DNS settings in a few moments, so you can go ahead and click the Next button again. And voila, your domain has been added to your WP Engine account. Now you're probably noticing that there are 2 versions of the domain. There's a www version and a non-www version. They both have an upgraded network status notification next to them. This is normal and we'll address the 2 domains in just a few moments, but first, let's upgrade the network. Now this is a free upgrade that will improve your site's overall performance and security, and we'll need to do this for both versions of the domain. And starting with the non-www version, let's click that upgrade network link. And then all you're going to do is click the Enable Now button. And once the network has been updated, you'll be presented with your CNAME record and A records. This is what you're going to use to point your DNS and connect the domain to your WP Engine account. Again, if you're scratching your head right now, no worries. This will all make sense in a few moments. Okay, let's do the same thing for the www version of the domain. So click the I'm Finished Here button. And this time we're going to do the exact same steps for the www version of the domain. So once again, click the Upgrade Network link and then follow the exact same steps. Click the Enable Now button. And then the I'm Finished button. And there we go. Then if you scroll down to the DNS details section, you'll see that the advanced network has been added, and clicking on that tab will give you the CNAME and A records needed in order to point your DNS and configure your domain to this faster network. But before we configure the DNS settings, we'll need to update WordPress with the domain that we just added to WP Engine. This is a super quick process, but it's extremely important because if we skip this step, it'll cause some issues with the domain and potentially break your site. So next, let's update your WordPress URL. Okay, now that you've added your domain to your WP Engine account and updated to the advanced network, it's time to update your WordPress URL. Updating your WordPress URL is required on any WordPress host, and it tells the WordPress software which domain should show up in the browser. This is an important step and prevents issues with redirects and even SEO. And this will be handled in your WordPress dashboard. So, towards the top of the screen, click on the WP Admin button. And this will log you into WordPress and take you to your WordPress dashboard. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. We'll go over it in greater detail, but for now, we need to make one small tweak in the general settings. So within the sidebar menu of your dashboard on the left-hand side of the screen, hover your mouse over Settings and click on General. Then from here, the change you're going to make is within the WordPress address URL and site address URL fields. They're currently both displaying the temporary WP Engine subdomain, but you'll want to swap both of those out with your new domain that you just purchased from Namecheap. So instead of demoblog2.wpengine.com, I'll replace it with my new domain, blogdemotimevideo.com, and I'll do that for both URLs. And there we go. Then click the Save Changes button at the bottom of the screen. And when you do, it may take some time to process, so just sit tight and don't close the screen. And when you make this change, you're going to be logged out of WordPress. And we'll log back in after we configure the domain on the WP Engine side of things. So with that being said, let's configure and point the DNS for your new domain. So let's head back to our domain management page in WP Engine. And if you look at the status of your domain, you'll see that the current status has this notice stating that you need to point your DNS for each domain. And if you're new to all this, DNS stands for Domain Name System, and it's basically how your domain will display your WordPress site when someone visits your domain on their browser. And it can all seem somewhat technical if you're new to the subject, but I'm here to tell you that once you know what to do, it's really quite simple. The hardest part is just knowing what steps to take. So, with that being said, let me show you those steps and point your DNS. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to point your DNS for your domain. And the way we're going to handle that is through Cloudflare. So visit cloudflare.com, and I've linked to it in the important links doc that you can access in the video description below. And from here, it's time to update your DNS. This will allow your web traffic to flow from your domain to your WordPress blog or website hosted on WP Engine. And the way we're going to accomplish this is through Cloudflare and CNAME flattening. And if you're brand new to all of this, I'm sure you're scratching your head right now, but trust me, it's pretty simple to set up once you know where to go and what to do. This is WP Engine's recommendation for DNS configuration, as it makes adding supplementary features through Cloudflare down the road far easier. Cloudflare has a free plan that not only lets you configure your DNS settings, but provides a free SSL certificate, a free CDN, extra security protection, and much more. Cloudflare's free plan gives you all the basics you need to protect and accelerate your site. So to get started, let's sign up for a free Cloudflare account. So go ahead and click Sign Up in the upper right corner of the homepage. And then you'll need to create a free Cloudflare account in order to access their products. So in the fields provided, enter the email address that you want associated with the account and create your password. Then once you've done that, click the Create Account button. Then for this tutorial, we'll be using Cloudflare. So within the Cloudflare option, click the Get Started button. Next, you'll need to enter the site that you want to connect to Cloudflare. So within that field, enter the URL of your site like so. And don't use the www version, just enter the domain and then click the Add Site button. Then you'll be taken to the Select Your Plan page. Now, Cloudflare does offer some paid plans, and by all means, if you have the budget for them, I highly recommend getting them. But for this tutorial, we'll be using the free plan. It still has a ton of great benefits to help speed up and protect your site. So go ahead and click on the free plan to select it, and then click the Continue button. And in a few moments, you'll be taken to your site's DNS management dashboard. This is what we'll be updating in a few moments to ensure that your WP Engine WordPress site connects to your domain from Namecheap. But before we do that, I recommend that you verify your email address with Cloudflare. So head over to your inbox again and look for an email titled Cloudflare, please verify your email address, and then click the link provided. Then once your email has been verified, click the Continue to Dashboard link. Then back at Cloudflare, click on your site that you just added. And this will bring you to your site's Cloudflare Overview dashboard. This is like home base for your site's Cloudflare account. Next, it's time to update your DNS details. So within the sidebar menu, click on where it says DNS. And this will bring you to your DNS management dashboard. And the first step in the process is to delete the A record. It should be the first one listed there. Simply open it by clicking Edit, and then click the Delete button. And you may get a pop-up asking you if you're sure you want to delete it. We are, so go ahead and click the Delete button again. And then now that that's been removed, it's time to add a brand new CNAME record. So this time, click the Add Record button. Then, for the type, click that drop-down menu and select CNAME. Then, in the name field, use the @ symbol. Next is the target, and for this, you'll want to head back to your WP Engine domain management page and scroll down to the DNS details. Then make sure that you have the Advanced Network tab open and click that little icon next to the CNAME to copy it. This is the target that we want. So go ahead and copy that CNAME. There we go. Then head back to Cloudflare and paste it within the target field. Then click the Save button. And the new CNAME record for the root domain has been added. Next, you'll want to update the target for the www CNAME record. It should be directly below the new CNAME record. And all you're going to do is click Edit to open the settings. And then within the target field, replace the Namecheap target with the WP Engine CNAME. It'll be the same one you just copied from your WP Engine advanced record. Then click the Save button. And now you should see your two new CNAME records for your root and www versions of your domain. Okay, now that we've updated the CNAME records, it's time to update the name servers within Namecheap. This will help connect your URLs with the IP address of the web servers. So head over to your Namecheap account and open your domain management page. And the way to get there is within your primary nav, hover your mouse over Account and click on Domain List. Then find the domain that you want to use for your WP Engine site and click the Manage button. Then within your domain settings, find the Name Servers section and click that drop-down menu and select Custom DNS. After you do that, it'll look like this. Custom DNS will be in the drop-down, and you'll have two spots for your new name servers, Name Server 1 and Name Server 2. This is where you'll add the name servers from Cloudflare. So let's head back to your Cloudflare DNS management dashboard and then find the Cloudflare name servers. They'll be located just below your DNS settings. And all you're going to do is copy and paste the Cloudflare name servers to the Namecheap name servers one by one. So for name server 1, highlight and copy the first name server listed there, and then head back to Namecheap, and within the name server 1 field, paste that name server from Cloudflare like so. Then do the exact same thing for name server 2, head back to Namecheap, highlight and copy that second name server, and then paste it within the name server 2 field in Namecheap. Then don't forget to click this little green check mark to save your changes. And just like that, the name servers have been updated. Now keep in mind that DNS updates may take up to 48 hours to take effect. So one thing you can do, if you head back to your WP Engine domain management page, and next to your domains, there will be these 3 little dots. Clicking on them will open some more options for your domain. One of them being to check the status. This will tell WP Engine to check the status of the connection and can help expedite the process. Then go ahead and follow the same steps to check the status for the www version of your domain. Then mine took about 15 minutes to propagate, but feel free to pause the video, and when you come back, refresh the page, and as you do, you should see the domain status change from the orange warning to this green lightning bolt, letting you know that your domain is running at optimal efficiency. Then the last thing we're going to do with the domain is to set it as the primary domain. So again, within the non-www version of your domains, click that 3-dot icon, and this time select Set as Primary. And just like that, you now have a primary domain with proper DNS configuration. Alright, moving on. Next, let me show you how to set up domain level redirects, as well as your HTTPS redirect. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to go over redirects. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these 3 domains are still domains that can accept web traffic. So it's best practice to redirect the remaining domains to your primary domain. And if you're new to redirects, that just means that if someone were to click on either one of these domains, it would take them to your primary domain. However, when we updated our WordPress URL settings, I found that WordPress redirects all traffic to the primary domain. And due to this, you may not need to set the domain level redirect in WP Engine. So, what I recommend doing is waiting another 48 hours before creating redirects in WP Engine. Then, if you come back and put these domains into a browser and they don't redirect to your primary domain after 48 hours, you'll need to implement the domain level redirect within WP Engine. And all you'll do is click this 3-dot icon next to each domain and select Add Redirect. Then from here, you'll set where the domain should redirect to. Again, you'll want to select your primary domain, which will always be the non-www version. Then click the Save Changes button, and the redirect will be set, and now all traffic to the domain will be redirected to the primary domain. Again, I found that WordPress automatically handles these redirects on the WordPress side of things, so wait 48 hours before seeing whether or not you need to complete this task. Just visit each one of these domains, and if they take you to your primary domain after 48 hours, you don't need to do what I just showed you. Also, if you have any issues or questions about these redirects, please visit the WP Engine chat support. Just click this icon in the bottom right corner of the screen, and this will initially open the WP Engine Virtual Assistant. However, if you want to speak with an actual support representative or an actual human being, simply type the word support in the chat box, and then confirm that you want to connect with an actual agent, and you'll be connected with one of WP Engine's WordPress experts. And I used their support multiple times whenever I ran into some issues when I was first testing and QAing WP Engine, and they helped me out a ton. So I highly recommend using their chat support if you need some extra help. Then since we're on the topic of redirects, there is one redirect that you do need to do right now, and that's the HTTPS redirect. This will be handled in Cloudflare. So let's head back to your Cloudflare account, and from your dashboard, click on where it says SSL/TLS, and then select Edge Certificates from the dropdown. And if you recall, Cloudflare gives you a free SSL certificate, which means that your site will use the HTTPS prefix instead of HTTP. And you can see whether or not your SSL is enabled here. Mine currently is active. However, if yours isn't active, you'll just need to flip a switch to turn it on. And this is important for a lot of reasons, but just know that it's pretty much required nowadays for your domain to have the HTTPS prefix. So to ensure that your domain always displays HTTPS, find where it says always use HTTPS and flip that switch on. It'll be green when it's on, and this will redirect all traffic to the HTTPS version of your domain. All right, believe it or not, you're almost done with the Go Live checklist. So let's head back to our WP Engine dashboard. And from here, click on Go Live checklist within the sidebar menu on the left-hand side of the screen. And look at that, all of the tasks in the Connect and Secure Go Live checklist are marked with a green check mark, meaning they've been successfully completed. Now, if some of your tasks aren't marked as completed, but you know you followed along and completed those steps, give it about 24 hours or so. Sometimes with the domains in the SSL, it takes a little extra time to propagate. Plus, when we visit our site in a bit, I'll show you the things to look for to ensure that these steps have been completed correctly. Then the last thing I want to go over before moving on is the seamless login. This is a new feature that allows you to log into your WordPress environments through the WP Engine user portal with just one click. And with seamless login, there's no need to remember a separate set of credentials for each of your WP Engine and WordPress websites. Now, seamless login was automatically implemented and enabled when I first signed up for WP Engine, as it should have been for you, but if you're not seeing a green check mark here, let me show you how to turn this feature on really quick. So first, head over to your WP Engine user profile by clicking on your name in the upper right corner of the screen, and then select Profile from that dropdown. Then from here, select Seamless Login from the Profile menu, and then if the action is set to Disable, this means that it's currently enabled. However, if you see Enable here, just click on that link to turn the seamless login on. All right, with that being said, you've officially completed WP Engine's Go Live checklist, and your site is now live online for the world to see. Congrats, awesome job. And then let's head back to the user portal really quick. So within the sidebar menu, click on Sites. And then from here, you can access the front end of your live site or continue to work on it through your WordPress admin login. Either way, you have officially launched, and I wish you the best of luck with your new site. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need some additional assistance with your site. I'm always happy to help. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, now that you've started your blog, check out these 2 videos on email marketing and blog monetization. They'll help you grow your audience and earn a passive income with your blog. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.